We're back. Casual gaming news. It's gonna be a short one. Most of it's gonna be going through the Game Awards that happened last night. We already streamed it. We already looked at it. It's fine. Again, not a lot. No dev dub because again, wasn't a lot going on. Dev dub goes to Jeff Keighley. How about that for Game Awards? That's cool. I like that a lot. I like that. Let's do it. Let's say that. Let's start off with Goon Swarm Games closing. This is Chris Scullion, VGC. So Postal game developer shuts down after its project was canceled due to allegations of generative AI use. So they released basically a promotional trailer for the game, the Postal game, Bullet Paradise, and everyone's like, "This looks like AI. Why are you using AI? That sucks. This looks like AI." And we'll play a little bit of it, so you guys can maybe decide for yourselves. We don't really need audio, but here's the game. Here's what it looks like. You let me know if you see elements of, I mean, I do. You let me know if you see elements of AI in any of this. So wait for some of these pop-ups here. So this is the Postal Bullet Paradise game. Canceled. Interesting. This looks weird. Some of this looks weird. Okay. So everyone was like, that's AI. How dare you? But the studio was like, you guys are fucking R-words. All right? They use slurs. Right? Responding to Discord users who continue to claim it was AI, Jarrett Schachter replied, "It's literally not. Sorry guys, your wet dream is wrong. Dead fucking wrong." Meanwhile, Running with Scissors community manager Zeron told one Discord member they were R-word for believing generative AI was being used. And they continued to deny it and say, "No, there's no AI in the game. You guys are being dumb." So much so despite initially defending the developer and criticizing those making accusations, however, Running with Scissors, which is the publisher, I believe, right? Let me see if I got that right. Publisher Running with Scissors eventually posted a statement on X. Yeah, they were like, all this stuff proves that it's not AI, but then the publisher released a statement on Twitter, in which it appeared to backtrack on its defense of Goon Swarm Games, the developer, saying its trust in the studio was broken and that the game had been canceled. After revealing Postal Bullet Paradise, a title Running with Scissors was planning on publishing, but not developing, we've been overwhelmed with negative responses from our concerned Postal community. Strong feedback from them is that elements of the game are very likely AI generated and thus has caused extreme danger to our brand and our company reputation. Yada, yada, yada. But the developer said it was shutting down entirely because of this, still maintaining that it wasn't using any AI for the game. Our project and everything we built over the past 6 years was canceled in just a few days. Our studio was mistakenly accused of AI generated art in our games, and every attempt to clarify our work only escalated the situation. In the last few hours, we've received a large number of threats, insults, and mockery, which pushed us towards a very difficult decision. So is this a case of mistaken identity? Did the developer actually not use AI and got canceled just for accusations because it seems like AI? We're truly sorry for the artists who put their soul into the support our studio, only to face false AI accusations. It's tough to pour so much energy into a game and end up caught in the middle of an AI war by accident. Best decision to shut everything down. But the following day, the studio posted another statement conceding that some generative AI was indeed used, but only for promotional art, which it claims was created by external artists. Oh, would you look at that? Would you look at that, chat? It seems that the developer contracted out third-party artists, right, to make promotional stuff in the trailer and stuff like that, and they used the AI art. We want to start with a sincere apology to everyone affected by the situation, the community, our partners, and especially the artists who supported us. The last few days have been overwhelming. As a small studio suddenly pushed in the spotlight, we reacted emotionally and defensively. Accusations came as a shock, and we needed time to breathe, look at everything calmly, and understand what truly happened. After taking some time and conducting an internal review, we agree with your criticism. The promo art does appear to include or be influenced by AI generated material. We collaborated with external artists for years and never saw any signs of this. Because this shit's only just starting to happen. Why aren't you checking things now? I don't understand. The layered PSDs always look legitimate within our internal pipeline. which is why our initial reaction was to protect our team and defend our innocence. We understand now that your concerns were valid, and we take responsibility for not catching this earlier. What a roller coaster of emotions. Reading through this, I was like, ah, shit. That sucks that this studio got shit on and they probably didn't even use AI. And then you get to the last third of it and it's like, oh no, they did. No, they did. This was a really interesting read. It was fun, actually. Crazy story. Anyway, next up, this is all big news. There's only like 3 of these. Call of Duty says no more back-to-back releases. Chris calling VGC. They released a statement on the internet. Where is it? I'm not reading all that. Call of Duty has enjoyed long-standing success because of you all, a passionate community that demands excellence and deserves nothing less. We also know that for some of you, the franchise has not met your expectations fully. As part of this plan, the team has announced that it will be changing its strategy going forward, declaring, we will no longer do back-to-back releases of Modern Warfare or Black Ops games. The reasons are many, but the main one is to ensure we provide an absolutely unique experience each and every year. We will drive innovation that is meaningful, not incremental. While we aren't sharing those plans today, we look forward to doing so when the time is right. And they're saying they plan on sticking with Black Ops 7 for a long time, supporting it, adding more stuff, making it a really great game. That's what they say. But finally, our first signs of cracks in the studios. No more back-to-back Call of Duty. This is awesome. Let's go Battlefield 6. Let's go Battlefield 6. Way to go. Way to go. Next up, an update on the whole Rockstar union busting thing. This is Chris calling VGC again. So UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer says the government will look into Rockstar's recent layoffs amid allegations of union busting. It always starts in the UK. It's so interesting. Let's go to the update. Petitions. Chris Murray, Labour MP for Edinburgh East and Musselburgh, raised the issue asking Starmer if he would look into the situation. The video game company Rockstar in my constituency last month fired 31 employees without providing evidence or union representation. The IWGB alleges union busting. Having met Rockstar, they have failed to reassure me that they are following employment law, and I share concerns about union busting. Look at this. They talked about it like in the real place. Given this government is responsible for the biggest increase in workers' rights in our generation, does the Prime Minister agree all companies, regardless of profit size, must follow UK employment law and all workers have the right to join a union? Replied, well, it's a deeply concerning case. Every worker has the right to join a trade union, and we're determined to strengthen workers' rights and ensure they don't face unfair consequences for being part of a union. Ministers will look into the particular case that he raises and keep him updated. And then there was another follow-up from Rockstar themselves. Rockstar claims, or still claiming, it fired employees for leaking info from upcoming and unannounced titles, not from joining a union. I think this is after the Prime Minister thing. Rockstar Games took action against a small group of individuals across the UK and internationally who distributed and discussed confidential information, including specific game features from upcoming and unannounced titles, in a public forum in breach of company policy and their legal obligations. Claims that these dismissals were linked to union members or activities are entirely false and misleading. If only there was a way to prove by just looking at the messages. You can literally just, unless whoever is in charge of the server deleted the entire conversation, you can just look at the messages. It's so easy. So we're going to keep following along in this and see what happens. Hopefully Rockstar gets shit on. And that's it for the major news except for Game Wars. We'll circle back. We got an update on the marathon plagiarism stuff. Chris calling VGC again. He was putting in work this week. Artists whose designs were used in Bungie's marathon without permission says the dispute has been resolved to my satisfaction. He must have got a huge payout. They're just saying, hey, we fucked up. This was all wrong. We looked into it. They did take this person's art, and the dude was like, you know what? Whatever deal that they made, he's satisfied. So it must have been a lot of money, honestly. So it should be settled now at this point. The whole lawsuit stuff with Marathon, which we don't know we don't know why this is still going, because again, this game's not coming out. But it's settled. Cool. Next, the cast of E33. I don't know if it's like, I doubt it's like all the cast, but whoever talked about this, Jordan Midler, VGC, they call for the Game Awards to add a motion capture category, which is smart. I like that idea. It was announced last week that E33 has become the most nominated game in the history of Game Awards and most winning, The game's primary cast, including Ben Starr, Charlie Cox, and Jennifer English, all have been nominated in the show's performance capture categories. Imagine Charlie Cox won. He wasn't even there. Now, in a forthcoming interview with VGC, Claire Obscure, Expedition 33 stars Jennifer English, Shayla Nix, Deborah Wild, and Aliona Baranova have called on the Game Awards to introduce more performance categories, including one that would celebrate motion capture artists. Yes. If I may, can I put my petition forward for why we need to have a motion capture category? Aliona Baranova said. It needs to happen. I posted about it online the other day, and some people were questioning, like, how would we do it? I don't know. They can figure it out. We need to do it because there are these fantastic mocap performances going on. It's been decades of actors going in, doing the mocap, and then someone else's voice is popped on top. And those mocap performances just disappear. I forgot that. Nobody knows about them. So, yes, I agree. They should do this. Hopefully, because this game swept, for the most part, at the Game Awards, they have a bigger say in a new category, which should be motion capture. I agree. We should be doing more, like, behind-the-scenes people in the spotlight. I love this. Let's do it. Next up, is the Helldivers 2 install size smaller? Not for me. Chris Culling, VGC. Helldivers 2 PC install size is dropping by more than 80% just 2 months after Arrowhead said HDD use made it difficult. In an update on the game's official Steam page, Arrowhead's Deputy Technical Director Brendan Armstrong explained that the team has been able to reduce the PC version install size from around 154 gigabytes to just around 23 gigabytes. There's no way. There's no way. In October, he posted a lengthy explanation telling players why the PC version uses up around 3 times more storage space than the console versions. Explaining that the main reason for this was to cater for players who still use a mechanical hard drive or hard disk drives to play their games, and the need to duplicate content and to improve loading speeds for them. Let's just stop with the HDDs. Let's just put an entire stop for this. Why did it take my... Since all modern consoles now use solid state drives in which have no moving parts, and because seek time is virtually instant as a result, install sizes are much smaller on the console versions because duplication is no longer needed. PC version still needs it, however, because though many high-end PCs now use SSDs, some players still use HDD. However, in the latest update, Armstrong has delivered the good news that after working with Nix's, the Dutch studio which specializes in game ports, they've managed to get the install size down to just 17% of its current size, with tests showing that mission loading times have only increased by a few seconds for HDD users. Good. Love that. Didn't you just tell us that duplicate data load times HDD could be 10 times worse? I'm pleased to say that our worst case predictions did not come to pass. But, yeah, hey, this is great news. Helldivers, there's no reason for it to be so huge on PC. But, when you look at it now, at least for me, I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong. It says the install size space required is 131 gigabytes. So I don't know what to do with that information. We got to figure this out. Unless it's not fully rolled out yet. Maybe it's not fully rolled out. I mean, it doesn't say they officially did it. So we'll see. Hopefully it happens soon. And last up of the regular news, Sega wants to use more AI in their games. Chris Culling, VGC. Sega says it will use AI in game development, but only in appropriate use cases. In a Q&A session following the publication of its Q2 financial results for the current fiscal year, Sega's executives were asked about the increasing costs of game development and whether the company will go along with the trend towards larger projects or look into more effective ways or efficient ways of development instead. Official response is that the company will make use of efficient development methods including the use of AI in game development. However, noting that the use of generative AI has been particularly a contentious topic in recent years, most notably when it comes to use in art roles, Sega says it will only use AI tools during development when it considers it appropriate. So rather than fully following the trend towards the large-scale development, we will also pursue efficiency improvements such as leveraging AI. However, as AI adoption can face strong resistance in creative areas such as character creation, we will proceed by carefully assessing appropriate use cases such as streamlining development processes. Yeah, that's fairly like regular, honestly, like level-headed. It's yes, that's fine. As long as they're being honest. They could say whatever they want and then do something else. We'll have to wait and see for the next few games to come out. And that's basically it for like the news. Let's go to the Game Awards. We'll do announcements first and then winners and stuff. So, my big pop, my big stiffy pop, Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic announced teaser trailer Probably won't see it for like 5 years. That's sad. I want to cry. But hell yes. Official new Star Wars with the original directors. This is great. This is like the best case scenario here. We'll see what happens though. The new Divinity game looks sick, literally and figuratively. Was a really great trailer. It's a fever dream trailer. Covenant of the Chicken Foot. Old lady has chicken platforming. Has chicken feet, I mean. Officially revealed Leon S. Kennedy in the new Resident Evil Requiem, even though he was kind of like spoiled through like, I think like was it PlayStation and somewhere else? Like a couple places spoiled it ahead of time. New trailer for Exodus. Control Resonant. This trailer also looked really cool. This is another pop for me. Control Resonant. I can't wait for this one. Debut game from the Yakuza creator Toshihiro Nagoshi, Gang of Dragon. This was a weird trailer, but it looked pretty cool. 2 Tomb Raider games, a remake of the original, and then a new one, which I think continues the original storyline. So it's just so like, it's what it is. It's Lara Croft. Lenny Kravitz revealed in 007. That was a womp womp for me, because it's just like, yeah, he's in the game, but it's just Lenny Kravitz being Lenny Kravitz. I don't see Lenny Kravitz as a Bond villain. I don't know, man. No Law looked pretty cool. Had a cool trailer. Saros has been delayed, unfortunately, but April's right around the corner. The last Badger, Bradley the Badger. This game looked awesome. Just this guy, he's just going through different games and platforming, kind of like the Kirby game, but going through different games. I love this one. This one looks pretty fun. Galactic Racer, another huge pop. Anything Star Wars is a huge pop. Yes, Star Wars Galactic Racer. Let's go. Criterion. No idea when this is coming out. A new Mega Man game. And then a bunch of other stuff. Guild Wars 2. What else did we see that was like notable? Stupid Never Dies was weird. South of Midnight coming to PS5 and Switch 2. Toxic Commando release date. 4 Loop. That from the Bad Robot games. 4 Loop looks okay. We tried to get into we tried to sign up for the thing. Angels of Delusion. The Warlock Dungeons and Dragons Dark Fantasy action game. Street Fighter movie teaser was shown. Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight release date May 29th. Rest stuff. Forest 3 was announced. Wild stuff. Forest in Space Forest. Diablo 4 expansion coming in the spring. Deadpool was announced for Rivals for next year. Phasmo coming to Switch, sure. Phantom Blade Zero looked really awesome. And then High Guard. And then High Guard was the big finish. That was after Flute Guy, or right before Flute Guy. So cool stuff. And then the winners and everything. Complete list. Start from the bottom. Esports team, Team Vitality, Athlete, Chovy, Game, Counter-Strike 2, of course. Content creator, Moist Critical, Player's Voice, Withering Waves, which beat out Claire Obscure E33, which was one of their 2 losses of the night. Most anticipated game, GTA 6, duh. Adaptation was Last of Us 2, not a surprise. Multiplayer game was Arc Raiders. That was a big letdown. I was hoping for Split Fiction or Battlefield even peak, but unfortunately Arc Raiders somehow got best multiplayer game. Sports racing, Mario Kart. Sim strategy was Final Fantasy Tactics, which beat out The Alters, Jurassic World, Sid Meier's Civilization, so on. Family game was Donkey Kong Bonanza. Yeah, that makes sense. Fighting game was Fatal Fury. That was a surprise. It wasn't Mortal Kombat or Virtua Fighter. RPG, E33. I feel like this is the one category that E33 won that I feel like it would have been fine for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 to win this category specifically, because I feel like there's a lot more RPG, like classic RPG branching of choices and story in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 than there is in E33. I feel like E33 is fairly straightforward, whereas Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, there's branches, there's different outcomes that you can get like way more than E33. But I mean, E33 is still a great game. But Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, if it won it, I wouldn't be upset. Action adventure, Hollow Knight beat out Ghost of Yotei, Death Stranding, Indiana Jones, and Split Fiction. Interesting. Action game was Hades 2. VR AR, Midnight Walk, mobile game Uma Musume. Debut indie, E33, which is crazy that E33 is a debut indie. Best independent, which is different than indie, E33. Community support, Baldur's Gate 3, which beat out Fortnite, Helldivers 2, No Man's Sky. Hell yeah for Baldur's Gate 3. Ongoing game, No Man's Sky. That was a big surprise. Really thought it would be Rivals or Helldivers 2, but No Man's Sky won that one. Games for Impact, South of Midnight. We'll probably play this soon. Innovation and accessibility, Doom Dark Ages. Wild. Best performance, Jennifer English, E33. Of the 3 nominations for that game that there were. Audio design, Battlefield 6. Sure. Another E33 loss on that one. Makes sense. Score and music, E33. Yeah, that makes... I mean, no one's surprised about that one either. Art direction, E33. Narrative, E33. Game direction, E33. Game of the year, E33. So, a big sweep. Big E33 sweep. Just we pushed the pre-show, yeah, unfortunately. They have plenty of time. They can show all of them. They can show all of them. It's they can give everyone a spotlight a little bit. But anyway, that's it for news for this week. Game Awards was the big thing, obviously. Dub goes to Jeff Keighley for doing the Game Awards thing. Pretty good award show. It wasn't as much of a drag as it's been previously. Not as much hype as it's been previously. So this was like a really solid like B+, A- Game Awards, I feel like. Like a really solid show. That's gonna be it for this week. Thank you all for hanging out during gaming news. Make sure to check out the links in chat. YouTube, Twitter, Discord, TikTok. I'll probably have this up by Monday. It's gonna be a short one. Again, not a lot going on. We didn't have to catch up a lot. But tune in next week for more news. Make sure to do the things in the video. And thank you again for hanging out.